Hi there, it's Dan here from Flexxable. I just got off a call with a dude who went from 0 to 305k run rate selling AI powered automations. Let's dive in and see how he did it. Hey Toure, how you going, buddy?
I'm well. How you doing, Dan?
Good to see you, man. Long time no speak. It's always good to see your smile, man.
I appreciate
How's
it.
things?
It's good to be seen. Say that.
Yeah, yeah. So it's been a while since we spoke, and you bought my book, right? The
Yeah.
Instant AI Agency.
hmm
Um, yeah, I just want to hear how things are going and where life's taken you since you bought it. And
Yeah, the book has
give,
been extremely helpful, breaking down things in a very easy, digestible way. One of the things that it allowed us to do is really kind of pinpoint exactly how we were going to hit and create our offers, and
yeah,
what we felt we were strong at in our experiences is creating our bots. And so for that reason, we stayed in the space of the financial space,
yeah,
and because of that particular reason, with some of our background, it was extremely helpful to navigate those conversations pretty easily. And
yeah,
so we really enjoyed that portion of the we enjoyed that portion of our growth. It was a huge game changer for our business. We were kind of doing an agency, and we were spending a lot of time and labor and a lot of different facets, and we wanted to bring something that had an offer that could be not only impactful, but we also wanted to have something that didn't create so much labor. And the AI couldn't have came at a better time. Your book, everything that you presented couldn't have came at a better time for us.
nice, man. I'm glad to hear it. And I was reading somewhere in our group that you hit a 200k run rate relatively quickly. Tell me about how that worked. Was it with insurance or
Yeah, it was
what?
in insurance, and we've since kind of branched out to some other industries since then. But it was definitely insurance. My background is I'm also
Yeah,
licensed in insurance, so I had some players that I could walk to, and that industry was really good on spend a great deal
right,
buying leads. Like they spend a
right.
lot of money. Yeah, they do spend
Yeah,
a lot of money sending leads, and so as a result, it was a good opportunity, especially the way you present it, where you can say, "Hey, let's test the theory out. Let's take some dead leads, and if I can
yeah,
turn those over and convert them into opportunities." And I hit like a gold mine on my first couple conversations with a few people, and as a result, didn't know that the person who ended up becoming a client ended up becoming a partner, and then opened up doors through other people, and that just kind of like
nice.
opened the floodgates of opportunities.
Nice. So let me get this right. You bought the book and you realized that our offer was to an insurance agent. Have you guys are spending a lot of money on leads, right? But what about all these old leads? You know,
Yeah,
your sales team can't call them because they're focused on the fresh leads. How about we take your old leads and turn them into sales using AI and SMS, right?
absolutely.
And you hit pay dirt with that, right? You
Yeah.
you hit gold because you found a part, like it sounds like a good partner who must have been quite high up in the food chain with insurance agents.
hmm
He's got lots of people underneath him, I imagine, which
Yep.
means he's like, can you go help all of these people?
Yeah.
Because if you do, that means I make more money, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I know
Absolutely.
how insurance works in the States. And I imagine you're an insurance agent as well. So if you're smart, you would put yourself kind of in between him and those other guys, right? I can tell that's what you've done, man. So you've
Yeah.
got
So
some
I've
premium
positioned.
commissions.
It took
Yeah.
me a minute to figure it out, but I did kind of position myself a little well in this space. One, I'll tell you this: I identified what I was finding as a common theme of those who were a good fit was those who had VAs, the
Okay.
people who are like appointment setters.
Yeah.
I noticed that their margins of conversion of people showing wasn't that much different than if I got an AI bot. And so
Yeah.
it was almost like the cost of having 4 or 5 different VAs to call all these leads. This would be a great opportunity for us to show you that you don't got to replace all of them, but if I could show you that one can do the exact same thing as your 4 other
Yeah.
VAs, that's just an
Yeah.
economic decision right there.
Makes sense.
It's a business
Yeah.
decision. So, but then because I wanted to I really wanted to get into the space of performance based. It was an easier conversation for me to start having with agents to say, hey, how about I get a percentage of the commission and be on the contract? because I'm
Nice.
licensed. So,
Nice.
and when I first started, though, I didn't go that route. I kind of used the license approach,
Yeah.
where I was still trying to figure out if this is, try to work through it. So I was charging a license per experience. So I
Yeah.
wasn't going out saying AI. I was using my own terminology when I was doing it, but I like the word speed to lead, DBR. So since then, I've now coined them into little caricatures. So when I actually do a
Nice.
presentation, I got different color bots, and
Mm,
they are representing
right.
different brands. And so I would do licensing. So now I'm moving to kind of more of a performance base, because I've now narrowed down the type of agent or consultants that I want to work with.
Yeah.
If they are licensed in that state, I've now put myself in a position to start getting paid some of those commissions on those deals
Nice.
that close. And then I'm looking to try to get my agency to actually become licensed in certain states now, so I can actually get my agency goes through the agency versus go through me. So I'm making some a little bit adjustments, but yeah, those are some of the creativities that I've been doing since then.
Nice, man. It's a great story. Because I've heard of people like once they realize this, they go and get a license in every because it works in the states, right?
Hmm.
Like you have to have a license for each state. It costs like $100 to register or something. Can they just go and get registered in all the states? So that means that whenever a lead closes, they can make the commissions or the trailing commissions or whatever that is for that particular state,
Yeah,
which is cool. Which is cool. All right. So I can't remember exactly. Like, let's take a step back. You mentioned you were working. What were you doing before? You're an insurance agent, and you obviously got the entrepreneurial blood, right? Like,
yeah.
you
So
got
yeah,
it in you,
I
man.
started
What were you doing before?
I
I remember.
started a cleaning company
That's right.
in
That's right.
2007. Um,
Yeah.
and I grew that through. I used to have hair, Dan.
Same as me.
Yeah.
Same as me.
I was
Yeah.
stressed out. I had quite a few employees working for me, and
Yeah.
I had to learn the ropes. But it was systems. I think that was the biggest learning lesson I got out of that industry, is learning how to create. You have to be operationally to save money in that space. And
Yeah.
I wanted to have something that was very systematic. So I had a partner. I ended up obviously getting up out of that end of that business, and I had to reinvent myself. And it was a
Mm,
challenge because my identity was wrapped up into that success.
yeah.
We were our lifestyle was very comfortable. We were able to take months off at a time, travel, and
Yeah.
my goofy self decided to do it as my children were started getting older, and then having to reinvent myself. And so I was looking for something. So I had always had a background in business and public relations, and I would do a little bit of marketing on the cleaning on my company side. And so I always
Yeah.
was kind of drawn to that just because that was my background. So I got into the digital space probably around 14, 15, 16. Um, and I basically bought every product you can think of just to kind of educate myself on the space. And I
Yeah.
did the agency side, doing the ads, and I had an
Yeah.
opportunity to work for a nonprofit organization that was a large organization. They gave me the keys to kind of run like a 14 million, $15 million project. So I got a
Yeah.
chance to get paid on the job and learn. And
Yeah.
I'll try to take
That's
that
nice.
same concept to the marketplace. And I still was feeling kind of lost, but it was until I was looking for something that was going to make me unique and different. And then AI came
Mm,
on the scene, but no one was really organizing in a way that made sense. Like it was just this
makes
big,
sales.
it was this big shiny thing, and everybody was still trying to figure out. There wasn't an expert, but you knew that it was a place like this
It
is
was
where life
coming.
is going, and
Yeah.
we need
It's
to get
coming.
on board. And I came across you around. I came across you around. I want to say November, maybe. Um,
November 2023.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds
And
about
I
right.
came across you. I end up you have this is before you did the challenge. I end up getting started. I I'm always taking action, so I took it. I made a few sales without even having all the things, and once that took place, it was really a cool experience. I reached out to you. I didn't even know that this group exists. You had a royal group that exists. I'm
Yeah,
reaching out
yeah,
to
yeah.
you. It's the holiday time. Hey, I'm spending time with my family. You had to talk to me later. And I'm like, I need this now. I need this now. So no, but you were very gracious, got back to me and gave me the necessary tools that I needed. And it just so happened everything worked the way it needed to because you were running a special during this season where you
Yeah.
could have charged, pretty much. And I was very fortunate enough to, when I came on board in a very short period of time, get my investment back. And I was
Mm,
really grateful that there was a group of people trying to figure this AI thing, and I wasn't the
yeah,
only one,
yeah.
and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we're all. This is what I realized. It was like a lightning bulb moment the other day. We're all experts in AI, right? Like, because there was no experts 2 years ago, right? Which means that we're world experts in what we do, right? Which means that we can go into these client relationships with a lot of confidence. And I was just on a call before talking about this, right? We have an offer that I call the offer of the century, right? If you've got any old leads, we convert into sales using AI and SMS, and we do it on a
Hmm.
performance basis, which means we don't get paid and you get until you get paid, which is an offer, right? It's the offer of the century, I think, but it doesn't mean diddly squat if it doesn't get results.
Right.
And this is what I think you've probably realized now. Now you have that confidence level is that when you actually get good data, it's easier to get results for your clients than it is actually land the clients, and that it is very rare. And AI does all of the work
Yeah.
as well, right? So we're in this situation now, which is kind of newfound ground for the agency world, right? Because we've got an offer to end all offers, and we've got something that gets results, and it doesn't require any manpower
Yeah.
apart from setting it up. So who knows where this is going, right? And then you've got everything else the clients need, right? Which could be for insurance, it could be a support bot, it could be document collection. Who knows what you just said? You've got all these different like bots built, right?
Yeah. So what I've done is, it's funny because when you're trying to solve one problem, you identify there's so many other problems that you can solve too. And some of the challenges that I came across, and I was very fortunate. I think we're close out the year, probably 305 this year. And
Wow.
one of the things that we end up having to do though is that we had to scale and pull back. We could have been aggressive. We could have continued to grow. Um, I like to talk about the good and the bad and the ugly, but I also like to talk about the growth so people can understand that while this is a great learning lesson, there is still opportunity here. Like it's not like we eating it up and no one else is making money. Like there's opportunity here. But one of the things
Yeah.
that I found with working with the people that we were working with is that on the opposite end of what you just explained, Dan, was the fact that you could have a really good product and they don't have the infrastructure. And so I was finding that we were getting people opportunities and they wasn't converting those. So that was also hurting my impact.
Yeah.
And now we just gonna look like an expense.
Yes.
Or and in some cases, so we decided over, I want to say close around August of this year, and where we halted growth to rebuild a whole new model. And a whole new model is that we wanted to start helping consultants and agents become the go-to expert in their space and create signature solutions. So we would actually install a client acquisition system inside their business. So we would actually create a roadmap. And in that roadmap that we would do is take what they already been doing, some of the stuff they've been doing for free, and turn it how they can productize those particular skills. So whether a person buy an insurance policy or not, let me show you how you can make money just being an expert. Transition. And then what we've done is included AI in our experience. Instead of seeming like they're getting it separately, we now made our
Yeah.
entire system built around the
Nice.
AI experience. And so now our offer has now went up. We're now selling high ticket offers, blending in AI. And then now we're selling coachable 90-day coaching packages to create
Wow.
strategy for growth. So we wanted to go long term. So we have a high ticket to install. Instead, I think we're about 12.5 to install it. And
Wow.
then once we go from that, and we get them into a community that we're currently building right now. Through Once we build that community, we teaching them, giving them skill sets, putting a lot of stuff to one to many type of training. And then if they wanted to work with us exclusively about scaling and growing that, we start charging more profit sharing as well as
Yeah.
retainer base. So we wanted to blend more of a consulting style because, as you mentioned, a part of it was because I was becoming really good at talking about AI, but I was like talking to kids that was like, okay, what does that mean? And I wanted to basically say, all right, I need to start talking their language. And then I'll interweave AI in the conversation as see fit. But really all they
Nice.
care about is their results. And so those are some of the major steps we've taken since, last time you and I spoke.
Nice, man. Well, things are going well. Um, how's this new kind of AI and everything that you're doing with my offer and what you learnt in the book? How's it changed like family life, man? I know you got kids. Are they left the nest yet?
Oh, I don't know if they're gonna ever leave the nest. To be honest with you, I got a my third kid. He who is actually 15. We run.
15.
Yeah, he's so we have four. So we have a 20-year-old who's in
Yeah.
his second year in college. He's
Yeah.
home for the holidays. Very proud of him. He made the dean's list. Uh,
Wow. He's
so
got a
very
brain.
proud of him. He's
Yeah.
home, and then we have my 16-year-old who's turning 17. She's the only girl, but I could tell you this right now: if she was my oldest, she would be my first and last. So she has the entrepreneur spirit, and
Does she?
so that's Kendall. My third child, which is Jeremiah, he's funny. He says to me some time back, we were talking about, are you going to lead a nest? And he's like, he said, I get free food, I get internet. What do I need to
Yeah.
go for? I'm not
What else
going
do I need?
anywhere. Like,
What else do
so
I
he has
need?
no intention. And then we have a little guy, Christian, who is actually 7. So what
Oh
has
wow.
happened though is that during this time, my wife is huge about Christmas and she does a countdown. It's a big to thing. We've been doing this for over
Is
like
it
10 years. It's a big to do. So
big
every day
thing?
is a countdown. And so
Nice.
I remember the years before having to work and not be able to participate as much
Mm,
mentally or presently being in the moment. And since
I know
being
what
a
you mean.
part of this and being able to secure things, I'm actually working. I decided to change my business model and just work 9 to 5, treat it like a real job.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Take a lunch break, and because at
yeah,
first I wasn't doing it, I was working long hours and thinking
yeah,
that I was, getting ahead. But now I take moments with them. I'm seeing that
mm,
moments that I used to have when I had the cleaning company, and I'm really happy about the relationships that we're having. We're having sit down dinners. We're
good,
laughing and joking. So from a home life standpoint, knowing that I got things that are happening on automation through AI and these conversations, it has
yeah,
been very helpful, stress free,
amazing,
and it's starting to create more
amazing,
goals for me and my family moving forward. That's for sure.
amazing, man. Oh, I'm so happy to hear it. You've done well, but you know what? Like came in, you took action, right? You didn't mess around. I have the saying, jump out of the airplane and build a parachute on the way down, right?
Yeah,
Get on coffee dates, have conversations with clients and partners, figure out what they need solved, and then use the AI to fix it, right? Like, because every business on this planet knows they need AI, they just don't know how to do it, right?
right.
And we're the bridge between AI and these businesses, and we can get paid, right? There's a big disparity between the value that the AI brings, the money that their clients are making, and how much we can get paid as a result, right?
Absolutely.
They used to have to you used to have to hire an appointment setter or a sales guy to be able to do this, right? But now that those costs have gone to pretty much zero, so
Dan,
there's a lot of
it's so
businesses
funny,
going
Dan.
around.
It's so funny, Dan. I am, I still see ads. I'm always looking at ads. I'm a marketer, and I'm trying to see how people position things. And
Yeah,
I mean, there are people who are still running, their business around getting people. Like they really are talking about appointment setters, and it's really
mm,
interesting to me because I'd be thinking to myself like, man, there's still so much opportunity out here because, I'm not saying that people are not valuable. They can just be repurposed for something more valuable. And AI can
yeah,
have so much more impact in just the day-to-day entry level conversations that
yeah,
could happen. And especially one
yeah,
thing I do like, I know some really, really great players in our community. But that whole collecting documents and
mm,
oh my goodness, like that's a game
mm,
changer,
mm,
especially if you're in the right industry. So we've been looking at figuring out how can we incorporate that into what we're doing. It may
yeah,
require us to have to leave the industry, that has been
Yeah.
the primary. But it's funny when I see these people who are running ads and
Well, you said it's the sales bros.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like why are we still doing stuff and like that don't make any sense. But again, you don't if you don't know, you don't know. So
You don't know. Yeah. Well, we're only scratching the surface, really. Like, we haven't even touched on voice AI yet, right? Like, we got that in our back pocket for 2025. When we can start using that, well, watch out. I mean, another thing I've been testing this week, and this is like completely off topic, but we've started running engagement ads on Facebook, right? And when someone, so you know how cheap engagement ads are,
mhm.
right? Like super cheap. So we get a comment for like 50 cents. We use AI to engage with that comment, respond intelligently, and then said, I've DM'd you, I'm going to send you something, right? And then we move them to the messenger. We DM them like a lead magnet or something like that. And the AI will go back and forth and make a sale. So suddenly, what used to be like the shittest ads on the planet, which is the engagement ads, and what's the point in running them? Where I've got, with a bit of work, it could outperform like the conversion based ads. Do you know what I mean? The lead.
It's Dan. Dan. Honestly, Dan, we are on the same wavelength. I've been testing it out as well, because it bodes well in the system. The acquisition system that we're building for people is
Yeah.
having them create their own digital product, and so we're trying to test out how well AI can help with low ticket products. You
Mm,
know,
mm,
how we can turn those low ticket products into, like, how do we include AI in the experience of someone from an ad or from a post,
yeah.
integrate that DM message, and then basically either
Uh,
redirect them to actually gain it. And then after
yeah.
they went to that page, assuming that they downloaded the content, whether that was a free content, paid content, whatever the case may be, and then interact the conversation to carry it further. And that's kind of what we've been playing with as well. I've been doing this with a realtor. It's funny, we did it with a realtor, and I also did it with this. I'm working right now with a credentialing company. They go out and help people who are health professionals. They
Yeah.
they have to stay licensed. And so
Yeah.
she actually has a book that she has on Amazon. But the problem with that, I was like, well, have you ever thought about making it digital?
Mm.
And it didn't dawn on
Oh,
her to
yeah.
make it digital, so we end up turning, instead of charging somebody $20 on Amazon, because she would have to go buy the physical book, or they had to send it. I said, you're not capturing that data, you're not capturing the data
Yeah.
when it goes to Amazon. I said, so how about we turn the book into more of a digital book, charge $10, and then let's then turn around and create a one to many type video series.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
said, and so when you turn this one to video series, we can start doing upsells to say, hey, I can take you through A to Z for $47 or something like that. And let me show you how we can use AI to segment these conversations. So she's
Yeah.
giving me the green light, and I'm glad. I'm surprised. I'm shocked you brought it up, but that's the feeling I've been getting. I'm thinking that some of the old school things that we used to do can probably come back and work,
Come back.
and if we
Exactly
use
right.
AI the proper way.
If it was me, I'd run a lead magnet, right? And like, you could even give the digital thing away for free, right?
Hmm.
And then the Prince Charming SMS. Hi, it's Dan here from XYZ Consulting. Is this the same Tory that just downloaded my book about how to keep your license?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
Question mark. Oh, yeah, it is. Well, do you need any help with that? And then it books in an appointment. It's just like perfect for her rather than,
And
I mean,
either
it's,
and I think both of them are either way. I think that I'm not opposed to that at all. It was just a thought that she was already leading it with it, and I didn't want to bait and
with a
switch her to
trust.
tell her to do it for free when she was already
Yeah,
selling
you're
as a
right.
product. So
You're right.
that was the only
Right
reason
under
why I
the knife.
presented it that way. But you're spot
Yeah.
on, spot on.
You could test it. You could test it. Mate, that's cool. That is cool. All right. Was there anything, you know, what's exceeded your expectations after you bought the book, right? There's a community behind the book, which we're quite active with. How have you found that? And has it been helpful? How active are you? That type of
You
stuff.
know, I've joined quite a few different groups over the years, and I will say that for some reason there's such a pull because of so much activity that's taking place in the group. that even when I go lows, when I'm not in it, I always feel a responsibility to go check at least once a week because somebody is doing something cool, or a question may come up, or and then there's always somebody responding to someone's question. And I find myself every once in a while I go down a rabbit hole of looking at everybody's comments because
Yeah.
I'm a learner by heart. Like, I may appear to be an expert to someone who knows nothing about AI, but I'm a
Yeah.
long life learner.
Forever learning.
So I'm
Forever
always
learning.
constantly figuring out what other people are doing and how they're doing it, and just really just
Yeah.
learning. Because and then I find something I may come across, I may take a note of that. So when that time comes, I know exactly where to go to get that answer. So
Yeah.
I think it's been great overall for the community. And also, if a message like Dan, I mean, if I really want to reach you out and ask a question, it would be no problem getting you to respond. And, I know I haven't taken advantage of it like I could, but there's so many other people who can use your skill set, right now. And I think you're doing that. So I think it's a testament to the community because the way you operate is also the way the community operates. And I think,
Yeah.
you don't have to talk to Dan to get the help you need. And I think that's an awesome experience to be a part of because I've built some
Yeah.
relationships with people inside the community in which,
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't the type of leadership that you set in the tone you set for the community.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Um, did I hear you say you hit 100, 305K this year?
Yeah, I'm not saying that to like I'm saying it to be disappointing, not to say that to
Disappointed.
brag. No, no, because here's the thing. It was a shocker to be on a run rate. Then it was like, okay, we're making this money. Okay, now
Yeah.
we're getting turnover. Like, how do we keep this money? And then it's like, okay, we need to fix more problems. So it was
Yeah.
like, I think this year was such a learning lesson for me this year. It was like I know exactly who I want to work with, and I know who I don't want to work with. And I think that's just as important as know who you don't want to work with versus who you do.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot about myself. I learned that just because something is new doesn't mean that I have to run fast. And I think that there's a pace that because AI is so new, you're trying to get in front of the line, but carve out your lane, carve out what's important to you, study. There is no shortcuts to this. I think just because the model is really good and it has a really great feature, it doesn't change that you still got to be good with your word. You still have to be a professional. You still have to be a steward and study of the game, and you still at sometimes. So for me, because I had these grandiose ideas, like I didn't execute everything I wanted, and part of it was because I was trying to take on too much. So I scaled back. I slowed down so I can go fast. And now that I
Yeah.
have a very clear vision, clear path, I'm hopeful that what we did this year, I can possibly do within the first 5 months next year. And I'm
Yeah.
positioning myself pretty well. Some things that I recently just did, be, these this thing called CEs, which is continuing education classes.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're a licensed professional, you may have to still do these things in some form or fashion. Well, I'm now getting my courses and my systems actually accredited. So people who are licensed can come to me for free to get their CE classes. So I could run my presentation around how AI is changing the industries
Nice,
in the
man.
game. So now I just got a free audience to start
Nice.
pitching my stuff to, and that's kind of so I'm focusing on a lot of different organic strategies while I'm also dialing in some paid strategies, and so I'm excited. So when I
Good
say the
fun, man.
305, it's not to like look like it's beneath me. That is a huge accomplishment. If I come off like I don't want that to sound like I'm up here, I'm not by no means. I just realized that once my belief kicked in, it just took it to a whole nother level to believe that it can be so much more. And so now I'm just at
Yeah.
a pace to believe that, okay, this is what we can do. This is what we did. All last year was learning.
Yeah.
And then when we made the switch over to NAN, it made things even much faster from there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's been a great ride, man. And I can't thank you enough, Dan, for this. I
Thanks, man. 2025 is going to be one hell of a year, I tell you. Like
I think I'm gonna take you up
2020,
to come hang out with you too. I can get my
man,
family
come to
overseas.
Tuscany. Come to Tuscany for the mastermind in August. Do you see
August,
that post?
August. What? That's typically my. That's my birthday month. So tell me, what time of the month will you be having that?
Let me just have a look. It is, I think it might be the last week of July,
Last week of July.
early uh, Tuscany. Where is it? Tuscany, Tuscany. Here it is. It is Monday the 28th to Wednesday the 30th of July. Last week of July.
Got it. And it's
I'll
how many
tag you.
days?
It's a 3 day event,
Okay.
but you come and stay. Come and stay longer.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. The flight gonna be longer than the day. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I'm gonna put that down. I think that would be a cool little gift to myself. Um,
Cool.
that'd be cool.
Definitely.
I'd love to come hang out, meet you
Yeah,
face to
man.
face once, shake your hand.
Yeah, man. That'd be awesome, man. Well, Torre, one final question. What would you say to anyone that's thinking about buying the Instant AI agency?
I would say be open. Um, I'll put it to you like this. I heard a very famous person say this, and it was really interesting. And what they said was, is that, and I experienced this recently. I was at a restaurant, and we were having this conversation about business, and the lady was just pouring this water. And this quote from this person I was listening to, it was so profound. She was pouring this water, and this water's free. But if I was to decide to leave and go to the gas station, it will charge me $2. If I go to the airport, I may end up paying almost $6 to $8 for water. And if I
Yeah,
go to an actual stadium, in some sports stadium, same
ten
water.
bucks. Yeah.
But what I found is that the water was valuable based off of the environment it was in. And so if you're
Mm,
looking to be in a different environment and you're looking to be in a different situation, you know, increase your value by being around other people and being in an industry that is increasingly growing. And there are a lot of people using AIs at very elementary level. And if you're trying to go to the point where you can take AI and brand yourself as someone that has a skill set, maybe you didn't finish school, maybe you don't have the degrees that other people have, maybe you don't have the credentials, but this is a season right now that nothing can hold you back. To say that no one can rob you from the information, no one can say that there is a gate that tells you you can't be great at AI. And because of that, you now have an opportunity to set yourself apart and change your life as well as the lineage behind you. So it has changed my perspective on online businesses, but it has also opened the opportunity for anybody who's listening. I'm now talking to Dan. I'm in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, and he is in Europe.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
So that just shows you how small the world has become because of AI.
Mm,
And so if
mm,
you're looking to expand and talk to people who are doing some really amazing things, this would be a great opportunity for you, just to challenge yourself. And the one other thing I would add to that is have grace. Have grace on yourself. Give yourself enough time to believe that, to see the results that you believe. Do not give up
yeah.
too early. Just because someone doesn't get back to you, someone says no, or I've tried that, doesn't necessarily mean it's no right now. I mean, it's no forever. It just means no right now. And we have to understand that the word no is so powerful, but no also can be beneficial. So that
I
would be my
love that
thing.
answer. I love that answer. Very eloquent as always, Torre. Mate, you're an absolute superstar. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Have an awesome Christmas. The countdown's like what, 6 days to go, right?
Yes,
Something.
yes, yes, yes. I think we have if it ain't Grinch night tonight, like she'll make this green punch and have
Oh,
like like
I want to be in your house.
oh my goodness, listen, I'll send you some pictures. So
Yeah,
listen,
send me
we'll
some.
end up having like this little, like we'll watch Grinch night and
Oh yeah,
everything
The
is.
Grinch, the movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
everything like so. Yesterday was a Home Alone, so we had to watch like two Home Alones back to back. It could get
No
a
way.
yeah.
No
So
way.
it's and then my wife is really big on Elf on the Shelf, so she'll do all these amazing things for our little guy, Elf on the Shelf.
Oh,
The elf is kind of like dictating what the day is going to be like. So
oh my
so
god.
yeah, it's a cool experience,
Hilarious.
man. It's a cool experience.
That's sounds like she likes Christmas a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right, dude. Have a great time, man, and I'll speak to you later.
All right, have a
Take
good
care,
one, man.
buddy.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much for watching this interview with Toure. And I tell you what, he didn't have any tech skills at all. He was running a cleaning company before. He knew how to run a business and he knew how to take action. And that's all he did after he bought my book, The Instant AI Agency. It gives you all of the step-by-step stuff that Toure did to be able to get on coffee dates with clients and turn them into a 305K run rate from that small investment, okay? There's a link below to my book, The Instant AI Agency. If you want to do the type of stuff that Toure did, you want to get into AI and you want to figure out how you can help businesses grow with AI automations on a performance basis, then this is the book for you. Click below. Speak soon.